Hi everyone, I just wanted to do a little recap of our make one right, make one left increases. So I have a few rows casted on just to show you what I am working with, and now I'm just going to jump right in. I will start with the make one right, which is a right leaning increase. So I will knit into where I want to start those increases. And I'll begin. So for my make one right, I am going to grab this middle bar right here with my left needle. I'm going to grab it going back to front. So back to front. So you have this on the front part, this part of the strand on the front part of your needle. And now I'm going to take my right needle and knit into it as normal. So just like this, right through, just like that. And I will knit as normal. So I'll do it one more time to show you. So for that make one right, I am going to go from back to front on that strand. Then I take my right needle and I go straight in like that. So this might be a little bit tricky. Maybe your tension's a little tight and it's a little hard to get through that stitch. That's okay. You can use the tip of your needles to help that go a little bit easier. So now for the make one left, I am going to grab that middle strand here and go from front to back. So you can see how it looks on all sides. And now I'm going to take my right needle and go through the back loop like that. And I will knit my stitch. Now I'll do it again one more time. So we're going to go from front to back for that left leaning increase. And I take my right needle and stick it through that back loop. Do it again. Through that back loop, and I knit. And now I have another increase. So a total of 2 increases with a make one right and a make one left. So I will finish my row and I will turn my work and I'll be on the purl side now. So for the purl side, I don't want to make any increases because the increases I'm using are increases only for knit stitch or for the front side of your work if you're working in stockinette. So I will continue purling all the way around, or throughout the whole row. I'll finish this row off just purling, and I will turn my work. So now I can start doing my increases again. So I'm just going to get to where I want to be in my knitting. And I will do a make one right. So for that make one right, we're going to take that middle strand and we're going to go from back to front. So I will take my right needle, go in, cross in, just like that, and knit as normal. And I noticed during last class that some of you were getting some holes with your increases, so I'm going to demonstrate the wrong way to do it. So for your make one right, you're going back to front, and what I noticed is that instead of going through this front loop, some of you are going through this back loop, which leaves a big hole, and we don't want that hole. And the way that we fix that is by making sure when we're doing a make one right, we're going in through that front loop there. And this helps solve the whole problem because now this strand is crossing in on itself. And once it's knit, once your next couple of knit stitches are done, that hole is covered by that crossed stitch right there. So now I will do a make one left once I get to the place that I want to do it, and I will do a make one left. So make one left, front to back, and we're going into that back loop. Some of you may be going into the front loop, which has the same outcome as doing it the wrong way the other way. So again, a big hole. What we want to avoid is that big hole. So for that make one left, we are going to go through that back loop and knit. So notice now this strand is crossing in on itself. So that's what helps cover that hole up. So, and you can see there is still a little bit of a hole, but it's not as noticeable. So that's the wrong way to do it. So again, I'm going to turn my work and do a purl row, no increases at all, and just purl the entire row. All right, and now I turn my work and I can start doing my increases again. So I'm going to get to the point where I'm making my increases. And now I'm back to where I want to go, and I will do a make one right. So again, back to front, cross in, knit. Now I'll go to where I want to go for a make one left. For that make one left, I'm going to go from front to back on that strand. Front to back. Take my right needle, go through the back loop, and knit. And those are your make one right and make one left increases. Now you can see a little bit of the structure here. So when I make my make one right on this side, my new stitches are pushing these stitches that I did not increase to the right. And on this side, I make my make one left, and now it's pushing these stitches to the left. So when you're doing this now, it's starting to fan out. So we're going out, and it's going to curve around itself. But if you were to do it the opposite way and the increases are leaning towards each other, that's how you start to make three-dimensional shapes. So I will do this little sample, and then I will do another sample going the opposite direction, doing the inverse of what I was doing, and you'll see a big difference. So I'll be right back. All right, everyone, I'm back, and I finished my little sample. So this sample shows a make one right and a make one left. So make one right on the right side and a make one left on the left side. And you can see here that it's not as clean as if I did it the other way. And that's because this make one right, because it's a right leaning increase, is starting to push these stitches to the right because it doesn't have anywhere to go. So it's pushing these to the right, and same thing for the left side. They're pushing these stitches to the left because they don't have anywhere to go. But with my other sample with a make one left on the right side and a make one right on the left side, these stitches have somewhere to go now. So this make one left is starting to go this way, and this make one right is going right. So these stitches are going towards each other, and that's what makes that really nice pretty border there. So now I'm going to show you how to do decreases. And because I am doing the inverse sample, I'm going to show you the inverse decrease as well. So I will start with an SSK, which is going to be a left leaning decrease. So I'll start with that SSK. For the SSK, I'm going to take my right needle and slip it knitwise into the first stitch. I'm not knitting it. I'm just slipping it over to the other needle, and I'm going to do the same thing for the next stitch. So I'll show you one more time. So I take my right needle and I go into that stitch from left to right and slip it onto my right needle. Now I take my left needle and I go into the front of both stitches like this, and I knit as normal. And there is a left leaning decrease, and you can see the left lean from this stitch right here. It's going towards the left. So now I will do a right leaning decrease. All right, for that right leaning decrease, I am going to do a knit two together. So I will take my right needle, and instead of going through this stitch, I'm going to go through this stitch and that first stitch on the needle. I'm going through both of them at the same time, and I'm going to knit as normal. And you can see this stitch right here is in the front and it's going towards the left. So I'll show you again. Once I finish my purl row, let me get to where I need to be and I will show you. Sorry if you can hear and see my dog in the background. He's my little studio mate, so bear with me. All right, I have finished my purl row, so I'm going to turn my work and start to do those decreases. So again, I'm going to start with an SSK. So for that SSK, I'm going to get where I want to be, and I am going to slip that stitch knitwise, no knitting, slip that second stitch knitwise, take my left needle and go through those two loops in the front and knit around like this. And your left leaning decrease. And now I'm going to do the same thing, but the opposite, which is a new knit two together, which is going to be a right leaning decrease. And I am going to take my right needle and go through two loops, not one, but two, and go through as knitwise, just like that, cross your needles and knit as normal. And now I finish my row. And now you can sort of see how it's puckering and maybe bulging a little bit. That's that three-dimensional shape that's being created now. And there are your decreases.